So, you got an online course or pre-recorded presentation idea, but you don't have the time to do it the way you really want to do it, right? Without those typical boring static slides and without spending a whole bunch of time editing. You don't want to put out anything half-baked, so you feel stuck. Trust me, I get it. Ecamm fam, what's good, y'all? I'm Marshall Fox, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Keynote and Ecamm Live to create a really dope online course or presentation, and half the time using those two simple tools. So this is the exact method that I use to create one of my own courses in about 2 days. That's including editing. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Let's go. So you may be wondering, what's the real benefit of using Keynote as opposed to just having static slides or just dropping a PDF and running that in Ecamm Live? The main reason is the animations. For example, when I did this or this, it's more dynamic than just an image or static slide, right? The main benefit, at least for me, is that I know my content looks amazing with little editing. And once I run through the content, I just have to cut out the junk like mess ups, filler words, etc. So I'm saving a lot of time on top of looking pretty cool. All right, y'all, so go ahead and open up Keynote. Just make sure when you're on this choose a theme window here that you select wide 16:9 as the aspect ratio. All right, so I'm going to create a quick sample presentation. All right, so I'm going to select basic white. So here we are here. So go ahead and create your presentation the way you normally would, but the main thing that you have to keep in mind is that you want to leave space on your slide for your camera overlay. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. All right, what I'm going to do now is create a placeholder for my camera overlay. And the reason I like to do that inside of Keynote as opposed to doing it in Ecamm is that I can add a type of drop shadow effect in here, and I can have them switch, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, so I'm going to do shape and select this rounded rectangle here, but you can select a circle or square, but I'll do rounded rectangle because I like that look. So it shows up black, but I'll go ahead and change it to white. All right, and I'm going to want my camera here just like the example that I showed you earlier. Right, so I think this looks good. I should actually make it a bit more narrow so we can add some more text to the slide. Okay, and I'm going to reduce the corner radius of this. Okay, what I'll do now is I'll add a shadow just to add some more depth to it. Okay, you have different shadow styles, but I like the regular drop shadow. Increase the blur and increase the opacity. I think that looks good. So now what I'm going to do is quickly add an animation because that is the main power of Keynote as opposed to a static image or a static slide. So I'll select these two and I'll go up to animate, add an effect, and you can preview these. Okay, I like fade and move. All right, so we'll keep that. All right, now I'm going to duplicate this slide because I do not want this rounded rectangle that I created for my camera overlay. I don't want that to move because when I go through this presentation, when I'm recording it into Ecamm, my camera overlay won't move, okay? So I want to make sure that this rounded rectangle is in the same spot on every single slide. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and right click this slide and then do duplicate here. So this is my actual second slide. I'm going to change this text. Let's do black for now. Okay, I'm actually going to delete this Ecamm logo. I'll delete, you know what? I'll just do a simple copyright down here. Okay, so I'll move this up. So I'll make the background, I'll just make it a simple white. But check this out, y'all. This rounded rectangle, I'm actually going to make this an image fill. Okay. Boom. So here we are, slide 1 and slide 2. As you can see, the actual rectangle doesn't move, but the color changes. So this is our title. I'm just going to add a bit more separation here, y'all. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add animations for these bullets. So I'm going to go up here to animate. Then under delivery, I'm going to do by bullet. Okay, so I can do preview. So now to get more granular control, I'm going to do build order and then make sure on click is selected. So this is stuff you probably already know how to do, but the benefit is we're going to be able to do it while recording into Ecamm, okay? All right, so this next part is critical, all right? So in Keynote, go to play at the top in the menu bar, and then make sure in window is selected. This is key, y'all. This is the major key right here, because if we do full screen, it will take up not only your primary display, but any other displays that you have connected. But if you do in window, it will just play the slideshow in a window like this. So if I go back to the home slide and then hit play here, as you can see, it just plays in this window. So I can click through or use my arrow keys. And if I have another display connected, then I can navigate that way. So this is the key right here. So I'll go back right now. I'll go ahead and open up Ecamm so I can show you how to set your camera overlay up. Okay, here we are inside of Ecamm Live. So what I want to do is create a new scene. So on the scenes panel, I'll hit this plus button right here, and then I'll go to source, screen share. All right. So you'll see this screen share right here. I don't need me yet. Okay. But the key is, y'all, go to down here where it says show current application and then click Keynote. All right, so when I click Keynote, you can see it pops up perfectly. So that's an important step. Okay, so let me just show you guys that again. All right, so I'll delete this scene. So I'll go to a new scene, created a new scene. I'm going to call it course, and then go to source, share screen. All right, remove myself. And then under show, I'm going to go to Keynote. All right, because I already clicked play. So if I back out of this in Keynote, as you can see, it's showing the Keynote screen. But once I hit play, and as long as play inside of window is selected, hit play, boom. So now I just need to add my camera overlay. So under the overlays panel, I'll click a new camera overlay and this pencil icon. Go down to custom. All right, so now I can resize it accordingly. Boom, this is good enough, and I'll remove this border so I don't need it. But if you didn't have a border in Keynote, you can go ahead and add your border inside of Ecamm if you wanted to, but I wanted to have that shadow right here, and I wanted to know exactly what my workable area was inside of Keynote when I was creating my content, right? So that's why I went ahead and added that placeholder area inside of Keynote as opposed to just adding the overlay with the border inside of Ecamm. Okay, so I'll just adjust the borders, the corner radius a little bit so it fits the corners a little better. So it's not perfect, but it works. So now all I have to do is navigate through my presentation like normal. And boom, of course you want to hit record in here and go ahead and navigate through your presentation. So as you can see, when the slide changed, that placeholder for the camera is still in place. Okay, boom. So then I can go ahead and navigate through my presentation, hit record, and that's it. I mean, it's really simple once you get everything set up and you get your camera overlay exactly where you want it. And it's even simpler if you don't do the camera overlay background inside of Keynote and you just add a border inside of Ecamm Live. Just remember to leave space for your camera overlay when you design your slides in Keynote. Set everything up in Ecamm, hit record in Ecamm, hit play in Keynote, and voila. All right, y'all, that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'm looking forward to seeing the magic that you guys create with Keynote and Ecamm. If you got value out of this, please drop a comment, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.